So, in this class, we're going to talk a little bit about words and headlines and how they interact and how they become concepts for design. So, I'm going to show you a few examples of advertising design. So, where the headline is actually the star, and that's what we're going to work on today in class. So, a provocative headline can carry a design pretty far. So I'll take you through a few of these. So sometimes in advertising, the idea is to capture the sort of capture the audience's attention. Sometimes using humor, a bit edgy sometimes. So this ad that you're looking at here says to tell your boss to get lost and CC your chairman, you need balls. So basically what it's saying is, and then it simply shows the lottery balls at the bottom. So basically the implication is that you wouldn't tell your boss to get lost unless you won the lottery. So these are the balls that you would need. For a product demo, break the glass. So this is a in-flight advertising on a glass window on an airline. So the implication being that it's a hover vacuum. So if you were to break the glass, the suction would pull you right out. A beer with more substance than a hipster's handmade leather journal. All beer, no bullshit. So you can sort of see that sometimes these ads sort of toe the line. They can be edgy, funny. Of course, there's a return on your investment. We just can't print it here, so it's a diamond bracelet. So I guess the return on the investment is how happy your partner would be in receiving it. They don't write songs about Volvos, so Little Red Corvette is what the implication is here. This was a series of billboards put up between Audi and BMW, where they tried to one-up each other. Protected by more prenups than any other car. So again, the idea is that you love your car so much that you would put it in a prenup so that your partner wouldn't get it if you got divorced. Cheap enough to save Phuket, I'll go, or fuck it, I'll go. So the idea is just a play on words that in the headline it actually refers to the place you're going. So pretty clever. So how does that relate to design? So I often write the headlines and sort of major intros for a lot of projects. So the one you're looking at on the left, you actually can't see the title, it's a bit cropped off, but it's a sustainability report, and you can sort of see the ship is sitting in dirt, and the headline is nowhere to land, right? So the idea behind that was the port is running out of space for containers, so there's no area on the shorelines where they can build anymore. So it was fairly controversial. So you'll see, like in all sorts of designs. So I showed you the Beethoven maybe history, but I use headlines in a lot of design. So here's a website for a lodge where I would have written all the headlines. So surrounded by nature and open for adventure. So playing off the idea that it's an island, so it's surrounded by nature and open for adventure. So even less, headlines can also just be sort of warm and inviting and sort of set the tone as opposed to being edgy and funny all the time. So with something like a lodge like this, it makes a lot more sense, right? So reel, paddle, or just observe nature at its most spectacular. Breathtaking island getaway awaits. Let us help create your new favorite memory. A destination easy to get to, much harder to leave. So the implication that once you're there, you won't want to leave. So even at that level, that type of advertising sort of jargon writing can really help elevate any type of design. So this was a series of ad for SFU. So really the idea behind here is that you can use the big data facility and find out and research about some really interesting subjects that will link up to a bunch of supercomputers. So what we want to do is sort of have a play on some of the research that was being done at Big Data. So they have a researcher that works with the NBA, but they also have a researcher that studies sharks. So just trying to get across the sort of wide variety of opportunities you have using the research and the data library. So just trying to keep it as simple and as few words as we can, and just trying, with this one, we're just trying to sort of go from this to this. So the idea here is that we're trying to show a real breadth of stuff. So from deep sea to dunks. Data on dunks. Responder research. Data in motion. Discovering wild data. So wild meaning this researcher researched Oscar Wilde, so that was the idea. And then sort of dropping in some of the numbers and things like that, and then you can sort of see different elements of the campaign itself. So your in-class exercise is to create an ad for a bakery. So you will have to come up with the name of the bakery. And then create a provocative, interesting headline. So again, let's start with brainstorming or a mind map. Think about what you want to feature in the ad versus, you could be just featuring the entire bakery and the attitude of the bakery, or, the positioning, how you want to position the bakery, or you could feature a product. So what is it you're wanting to sell or promote? Move to kind of a brain dump, including multiple headlines, calls to action. And then at the end of class, you're going to present your ideas and get feedback from the class. And then your homework is to refine the ad and present it next class. Now, when you're thinking about your bakery, it could be as simple as using an icon for the imagery. Keeping it simple is definitely beneficial for a short project like this. So here we have really kind of using a metaphor. So kids' parties are better with cake. So we kind of see a piece of cake there, but it looks like a clown's hat. So, those types of things can work pretty well. This is from the same midnight feasts are better with cake. So you can sort of see the metaphor is the cake is the moon, right? So you do see lots of those types of ads. So here you see one for a sandwich shop. So here's one that uses sort of hyperbole and the idea that with something so tasty, the forks would come flying. So again, a French one that is basically a metaphor saying, for special occasions, try our baking, and then you see the cupcake is in the shape of engagement ring. Different cuisines, delightful taste, breakfast worth waking up to. Pretty interesting ad for a knife company. Not only are the carrots chopped up, but the entire image seems to be chopped up.